Lions TV, this is the Den Daily, bringing you all the latest gossip, views and transfer news from in and around the Den. I like these videos, I'm glad they're back, and of course they are back for a reason. The January transfer window is open, and Gary Rowett has already alluded to the fact online that he's looking to do a little bit more transfer business than usual in this window. Exciting news, yes. Was it all hot air? Potentially, you may have thought so. But now it definitely seems that we are active early on in this window. The news broke this morning. It wasn't Richard Cowley. It wasn't even Jake Sanders. It was from Peter O'Rourke. Now, if you don't know who Peter O'Rourke is, there he is. Over 100,000 followers on Twitter. A freelance journalist and seems to be very well respected. Covers all aspects of all clubs. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And he has broke the news that Millwall are interested in signing 22-year-old Senegalese striker Pape Habib Gueye. There you go, that wasn't a bad stab at that at all. That was first time as well. Honestly, it was. Yeah, exciting news. We've bid, allegedly, £1.5 million, which is, in the scheme of things, for our club, that's big. You know, I think we paid about just short of that for Bradshaw, around that for Ryan Leonard. So I'm sure with add-ons, potentially Gueye could come our all-time record signing if it goes through. Is there substance behind it? Well, I've already said, yeah, definitely think so. Peter O'Rourke, reliable source on Twitter. Gary Rowett said he's going to be active in the window. So put the two and two together, you do the math. Sounds like could be a goer. However, of course, I want to get the bad news out of the way early. Watford are also allegedly interested. As soon as I posted that this morning, I thought to myself, here come the comments, what are you going to go? Watford, and he, of course he is. I think if it was other Championship clubs, definitely that would be the case. However, he goes to Watford, they're a Premier League side. He's a young striker, never played in England before, and will cover his career in a minute. You know, maybe he's not going to get game time at Watford, so it's definitely an idea for him to build his way up, as he has done in other European divisions. He's a 6'2" striker. So I'm not sure what size striker he is, whether he's a target man, whether he's pacey. And as I said, there's many things to look at in this scenario. Let's look at his club career. He started his career as a professional in 2018 for Norwegian Division 2 side Alesund. And he scored 25 goals in 55 appearances. Delved a little bit further into his Wikipedia, and it said he had, I mean, not always spot on accurate Wikipedia, is it? So it said he had 2 years or 2 seasons at Alesund, and he also had disciplinary problems whilst he was there. So he's obviously going to fit right in South Bermondsey if he's a little bit of a loose cannon. But he got his move to Kortrijk, who are a Belgian top division side. Now I just looked; they currently sit 8th in the top tier of Belgian football, in you know, with the likes of Anderlecht, and they're actually one place above Genk, who I know have played European football. So he's definitely come from good pedigree. Here's the bad news: he's only scored 5 goals in 31 appearances for them since his move in 2020. So a lot of goals in Norway in the second tier, made the step up, but he's obviously doing all right. I said I don't know if he's a target man or he's an out-and-out goal scorer. And what do we need at the club as well? We'll get into that shortly, because we've got our own types of players, of course, as I always cover. But before we get into that, what I want to say is this. It's a bit of a risk because it's delving into the European market for an African player. Off the top of my head, first thing I thought, Christophe Kinney sprung to mind. Of course, he was a Belgian player when we bought him, although we bought him from France, I believe. And talking of France, Jimmy Abdou, of course, another success. An African player who was living in France. I think he's brought up in France. But regardless, an African player coming into the league. However, we bought him from Plymouth, Jimmy, didn't we? But I'm just looking at African success stories in recent years. The risk you got, of course, is it's hard to scope the Belgian league, isn't it? As I'm sure they found out when they bought him from Norway. You know, on fire in Norway, Division 2. You take the risk, you buy someone. He scored 5 in 31 games. As I said, Wikipedia isn't always 100% accurate, but I'm sure those figures aren't far off. So, he's 22 years old. We're considering paying £1.5 million for him, which is, as I said, in our scheme of things, a lot of money. It's the most money we've ever paid. I always do this, and I don't want to keep doing this, but I am going to point to Isaac Tanto Alafe, the same age as Gueye, and he is currently banged him in the non-league, in the top division, if I can think what it's called, the National League, there you go. And he's doing it again. He's helping Sutton now into second place in Division 2 now, or League 2 now. I've seen him play recently at Leyton Orient. They lost the game by 4-1 against Alex Mitchell's side, but he scored the goal. He looked lively. So my argument will be, we know a little bit more, we know a lot more about Santo. He's come through the youth system at the club than we do about Gueye. Now, I'm not saying that we should bring Santo back, save ourselves 1.5 million. Of course, it's an option, but I'm not ruling out Gueye. Millwall have got a scouting system in place. I was going to say a successful scouting network abroad, but we've not yet seen that, have we? But we did nearly dip into, didn't we see this last year? Gary Rowett's considering dipping into the foreign market. And if you pull these off, they are successful. It's a way of either, for me, you know, we're not going to get someone from the Premier League. We're not going to get someone from the Championship. We're either going to dip lower, like we did with Lee Gregory and Steve Morrison, or we have to get something homegrown, or you go abroad. And that's how you can find a hidden gem. And it seems Gary Rowett is looking to go this way. So I'll bring you more news as I get it on this one. But for now, I'm going to go for it again, straight off the cuff. Pape, Habib, Gueye. That definitely wasn't first time, by the way. In case you was wondering for the edit, I had to cut that one in. Is potentially a Millwall target along with Watford, £1.5 million Senegalese striker. I was going to say that's a lot for the Den Daily, but I've been known to do about 7 of these in one day before. So let's hope that these keep coming thick and fast through the week. And of course, I will be back in business regardless on Thursday for a preview and a fan score predictions for the big one this Saturday. It's not far off being sold out. Let's get it over the line. Millwall v Palace, the Battle of South London, FA Cup, 3rd round. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.